dice for this, Boots. Better be good.
Not bad for a filly he's never run before, huh, Duke? Hit the second off the track record.
Man who owned a little hay burner like that can make himself a million.
He belongs to Lord Pertwee up at the hotel. Right now, he hasn't got a clue.
Here. Buy your girl a steak.
Lord Pertwee, please. Thank you. Hello. Alec? The Barracuda took the bait. I'm on my way. Bye.
Sir?
I'm Taylor C. Grant. I made an appointment with Lord Pertwee. His lordship is expecting you, sir.
Will you please come in? My lord. Mr. Grant to see you, my lord.
Oh, yes.
Good morning, Mr. Grant. Come in. Sit down, have a cup of tea.
Thank you, Lord Pertwee.
Weatherby, bring a cup for Mr. Grant.
Oh, thank you very much.
Now then, tell me about your yacht. How long is she? How many does she sleep? And how much are you asking for her?
There appears to be some mistake, sir.
Mistake,
Well,
huh?
the fact is, I'm not selling anything. I came here in a buying mood.
You did, huh? Well, in that event, I'm afraid you're a good half hour too late.
Somebody get here before me?
Yes, some fellow from Connecticut came down here. Liked what he saw, took the lot.
A lot.
Paperweights. Finest collection of paperweights in all England. My great-grandfather started collecting them just after the Crimea War. Blasted nuisance around the house, as a matter of fact. Dust collectors, you know, heavy too. Glad to be rid of them.
That's most interesting, but I wasn't thinking of anything so cold and impersonal. No, there's something else you brought with you. Something to live in and breathe in.
Well, good heavens, you don't mean Weatherby, do you? Oh, we can't let Weatherby go, you know. He's been in the family for years, devoted to Weatherby.
Thank you, my lord.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm afraid I'm not making myself clear. What I had in mind, Lord Pertwee, was a four-legged animal. A little filly of yours.
Crumpet?
I believe that's the little lady's name. Well, do you know, I was at the track looking over my string of thoroughbreds, and I just happened to glance into this stall, and there she was. It was the way she just stood there, I reckon. Anyway, I said to myself, Happy, that's my friends call me, you simply got to have the little filly, even if you have to pay up to $5,000.
Weatherby?
Yes, my lord.
How much is $5,000 in real money?
1,800 pounds, my lord.
Thank you, Weatherby. Yes, my lord. Well, that's a good bit more than I paid for her.
And we have a deal, sir?
1,800,
I
huh?
have the cash right here.
Well, just a minute. Weatherby,
Yes, my lord.
get that trainer fellow on the phone.
Madigan, my lord.
Yes.
Yes, very good, my lord.
Just a minute, Sonny. Is something bothering you, Lord?
No offense, old man. But just because I'm born to the purple doesn't mean that I've got cotton wool up here, you know.
I don't think I understand.
There's a bit more going on here than meets the eye, I'd say.
You're nobody's fool, sir.
1,800 quid for a filly who's never even run. A bit spooky, don't you think?
I'm afraid you have me, sir. Yes, there was something I was holding back. Now, I'm prepared to lay my cards on the table.
That's more like it.
The truth is, I saw your filly taking her exercise. And I said to myself, Happy, there's an animal with real possibility.
Crumpet, eh? You really think so?
Well, sir, I'm prepared to back up my hunch to, $12,000.
Weatherby?
Yes, my lord.
12,000?
4,300, my lord.
Thank you, Weatherby.
No.
And jolly tempting, I must say.
Then we have a deal, sir.
I don't know. Something you said just now rather caught my fancy.
What could that be, sir?
The truth is, it cost me a packet to run my horses back in England. Chaps in whites are always ragging me about it. Be quite a Slap in the eye for them if old Buffles Pertwee came up with the winner. What?
My lord, Mr. Madigan on the telephone from the racecourse.
What's he want?
He didn't say, my lord.
Well, give Mr. What is your name again?
Taylor C. Grant.
Well, give Mr. Grant some more tea, huh?
Excuse me, sir. I wonder if that phone call could wait just one short minute. Something I have to tell you, something deeply personal. Could affect my entire life.
Weatherby, tell him I'll call him back.
Very good, my lord.
It's my little girl, sir.
I beg your pardon?
Joanna May. Right now, she's up in the penthouse reading her birthday cards. All alone. Her mother ain't been with us since the accident. Well, sir, I told my baby, this year I'm going to give you the best birthday present you ever had. Little filly. Soft brown eyes, braided tail. Well, sir, she just about cried for happiness. There you have it, sir. I am ready to spend every penny I have to make my little Joanna May happy. $25,000.
25,000.
8,900, my lord.
Thank you, Weatherby. Well, that's more than the paperweight's fetched.
Well, then can I tell my little girl we have a deal, sir?
Well, naturally, I'd hate to disappoint the child.
Oh, well, then how about this, sir? Sporting proposition here. We'll toss this silver dollar. It comes up heads, you take the money, and a lonely little girl gets her heart's desire. Tails, you keep the filly, and I walk out of here with nothing in my Levi's except this little old car.
Sir, I admire your spirit. Toss away.
I reckon I should have warned you, sir. This is my lucky coin. Baby, we're gonna parlay that 25 grand into $1 million.
Mr. Grant?
Yeah, you Madigan? You're working for me now. Just Porter.
Well, that's okay by me. It's a nice fella. She's a little green, but I don't know. Work her hard, pick the right spots. Maybe she'll pay her feed bill.
Oh, no. She's gonna do a lot better than that, aren't you, honey? A lot better than that, baby.
I thought so myself this morning after a workout, and then the roof fell in.
You stuck your head out of the rubble. What?
Where every bang tail in the joint was lopping seconds off the track record.
Tell me slowly, pal.
During the night, some joker moved the 5 furlong post up 10 yards. Maintenance boys are digging it out now. What is it, Mr. Grant?
Tell him to leave the hole.
Alec Fleming, Timothy St. Clair. Mm-hmm. Well, I guess that takes care of everything. You'll have a short stopover in New York before leaving for London. Your passport, Mr. Fleming? Mr. St. Clair, thank you for flying United States Airways.
Oh, that was the least we could do.
Your attention, please. Flight 6, non-stop to New York, boarding at Gate 5.
Good to be home, eh? Huh?
Anybody home? Anybody? Hello,
darling.
Can I join the party?
Alec, dear Alec.
How are you, Aunt May?
I couldn't be better. Tony's waiting in the study.
Good.
I've got tea ready.
Ah, good girl.
Did everything go all right?
Smooth as silk. We unloaded old Crumpet for $25,000.
Oh, lovely.
Ah, my boy, Pertwee. How do you do it? 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 Hello, Tony. Ah.
Oh, that must have fallen asleep.
Hello, boy.
How are you?
How are you?
How did you find my part of the world?
Oh, it's wonderful. Well, sometimes I wish I'd been born into your branch of the family. Such a generous country.
Good. I take it we're in business.
Mission accomplished, boy.
Working capital to spare. How about your end?
All done. I brought Marcel's contribution with me. Had to spend a week in Paris waiting for him to finish up.
A week in Paris, huh?
Yeah. Made me wish I'd been born in that branch of the family. Oh, the girls.
Well, personally, I prefer being a Londoner myself.
Yeah. Marcel sent you this communique.
Thank you.
My dear cousins, it has been a rewarding experience. Lately, I felt my work had a tendency to become superficial. But I think you will find that I've given you a creation that is richer and truer than anything I've done for years. Affectionately, Marcel.
Well, let's take a look at it.
Well, we have a passport issued in Perth, Australia to Cullen Lassiter. A receipt for the deposit of £1 million to Cullen Lassiter issued to the Kingsway Bank, Piccadilly branch. A letter agreeing to a meeting at an undisclosed time and place, signed Ryan H. Not the detail. American watermark.
Marcel never misses a trick.
A couple of cartons of Golden West cigarettes. I tried one. The man doesn't know how to enjoy his money. And finally, the pièce de résistance. What Marcel called his finest hour. 2 copies of the international edition of News Time dated August 23rd last, and featuring a detailed account of the character and activities of our mystery man, Cullen Lassiter. Copy number 1, as it was generally circulated, containing one of the few pictures ever taken of Lassiter. Copy number 2, exact duplicate of number 1, with the one single exception. The photograph of Cullen Lassiter now bears a startling resemblance to one Alec Fleming.
He's really outdone himself this time.
Absolutely.
I rather like the dark glasses, don't you?
Yes, masterful.
Come and sit down, all of you, before tea gets cold.
I'd like to tell you about my week in Paris sometime when that makes it.
Hello. Watercress sandwiches. Oh, that's one thing I've missed in the States.
The cucumber ones are for you, Alec.
You spoil me rotten, darling.
Well, next week at this time, you'll be lolling around the Riviera, you lucky dog.
Not much lolling as far as I'm concerned. According to this article, Lassiter walks 6 miles every night of his life.
How long will you be, Mr. Lassiter, dear?
4 or 5 days, not more.
I doubt if his legs would hold out much longer than that.
It's a very important job, I suppose.
There's $1 million in it.
Oh, lovely. Who's the mark?
Aaron Rodesco, Mum.
Rodesco? That dreadful man with all the ships.
200 the last time anyone bothered to count.
Oh, it's so much nicer when they're disgustingly rich, isn't it?
Any sign of him yet? None, monsieur. Let me know the instant he arrives.
Oui, monsieur. Mr. Pierce has been waiting for.
Good morning, Mr. Pierce. I hope Mr. Rodesco enjoyed the Grand Ballroom last night.
Yes, he was most amused by the playing of the new orchestra.
Ah, yes, Alfredo and his violins are very good.
They will report aboard the trade winds at 8 o'clock on Saturday night. Mr. Rodesco is giving a small dinner party.
On Saturday?
Yes, I have here a list of his favorite melodies.
Mr. Pierce, you know, I would do anything for Mr. Rodesco. Just anything. But on Saturday, the orchestra is playing for the charity ball sponsored by the Grand Duchess Juliana.
You want me to tell him that your answer is a flat no?
Oh, no, Mr. Pierce, I didn't say that, but just as much as I would like to please Mr. Rodesco.
In that event, I am sure that next season, Mr. Rodesco will want to moor the trade winds in a friendlier atmosphere. Good day.
Oh, no. There is no reason for that. Rien n'est impossible, n'est-ce pas? I shall fly an orchestra down from Paris for the Grand Duchess.
Mr. Rodesco will be very happy that you thought of a solution. Now, shall we look over the list?
Yeah, what's the special
Lavignon. Excuse me, he's here.
Please forgive me. 1,000 pardons. It will only be a moment. Monsieur, the hotel is honored.
Are you Lavignon?
At your service, monsieur. The Napoleon suite awaits you.
Good. Has the private phone been installed?
Just as you requested, monsieur.
I'll take no calls through the switchboard.
I have been told.
How about the adjoining suite?
It, too, is ready. Also with its private phone.
You're certain I'll have complete privacy?
Mon cher monsieur, the Napoleon suite and the embassy suite, they occupy the entire floor.
Good. I can see I'm in competent hands.
Thank you, monsieur. Now, if you would be kind enough to register.
I thought I'd go down and paint the dear old beach. You know, all those striped umbrellas. Absolutely marvelous. Hello there. Don't we know each other?
I don't think so, no.
Timothy Sinclair, Dr. Sinclair, Harley Street.
I'm sorry.
I could be wrong with all that.
I'm afraid there may have been some mistake.
She will come with me, monsieur. A moment longer, Mr. Pierce. I see, monsieur.
Fleming? Oh, that name doesn't go with that face. It doesn't click at all. Oh, I know I've met him somewhere. Huh. I wonder what the devil the fellow's up to. Oh, well, it'll come to me. Off to the beach.
Make a difference.
Now, if you just turn around, I'll swim back inshore.
Okay.
And don't look! Won't be a moment.
Oh, that's all right. I'm hanging myself out to dry.
Sorry you had to get wet for nothing.
I think it's the influence of television. It happens all the time on the Late Late Show. Broken-hearted heroine leaves her things on the beach, and then walks slowly out to sea, usually accompanied by the Heavenly Choir.
Yes, I've seen them.
Do you often play mermaid out here?
No. It's just tonight I felt like going off by myself, and suddenly here I was in this lovely little cove. The moonlight and the water did the rest. It's a habit I picked up back home.
Where's home?
Watch Hill, Rhode Island. We have a summer place there. Well, I guess I'm decent enough now. What's the matter?
You're Kendall Frazier.
How did you know that?
5 years ago, Jane Hemingway gave a party in New York. You were wearing something blue and beautiful, Balenciaga, I think.
But I think if we'd met, I would have remembered.
Well, we didn't quite meet. I was out in the garden getting a breath of fresh air. You came out on the terrace. The moonlight fell across your face. I thought you were the loveliest thing I'd ever seen.
Well, I wish you'd told me. I was having a miserable time that evening.
I was going to, but,
What?
well, around that time, as I recall, there was quite a commotion inside.
Oh, yes, that was when Jane discovered she'd lost that incredible emerald necklace.
Yes, it was something like that, I think.
Did you ever see so many policemen descend on a party in your life?
Yes, they were out in force, weren't they?
And you forgot all about me in the excitement.
No, I didn't. I was just a little pushed for time. I had to catch a plane.
So it just never happened.
No harm done, really. The moonlight still has a way of falling across your face.
That's very nice to hear, even 5 years later.
Maybe we could fill in those missing years over a drink, after I put on something dry, of course.
No, I'm afraid I have to get back.
Where are you staying? I'll take you home.
Thank you, but I don't think so.
Why not?
Well, it might cause another sort of a commotion.
In the form of a man?
It's just possible.
Then I shan't see you again?
Oh, perhaps. Sometime. A hot summer night along a lonely beach somewhere.
Hello! Hello! That's who the blighter is. Colin Lassiter. Australia's mystery money bag. I knew I had him pegged. Yes, I did a physical on him once, you know. Funny I didn't recognize him in the lobby. I'd have known him for a second without his clothes. Colin Lassiter. Well, I wonder what the fellow's up to.
Yeah?
Using whatever name strikes his fancy, Lassiter descends swiftly like a hawk out of the night. He makes his deal, seals it with a handshake, and then is gone, millions the richer. Very interesting.
I knew you would think so, Mr. Odesco. I thought I was onto something the moment I saw him. You see, somehow the face and the name didn't go together, so I applied myself to the problem. I remembered that I'd read an article about him some time ago, and fortunately I was able to run down a copy.
Two suites, you said. Did you also apply yourself to the problem of the vacant suite?
Naturally, Mr. Odesco.
And?
Hotel was very tight-lipped about it.
I expect better than that.
I anticipated your wishes, Mr. Odesco. I arranged for some members of the hotel staff to clean Mr. Lester's room this morning with particular care.
That is better.
Thank you, Mr. Odesco.
What is my timetable for today?
After breakfast, we cast off and proceed immediately to Cap Saint-Antoine. At 11, the helicopter arrives bringing His Highness and His Highness lady friend, and at noon...
Cancel it. Cancel everything. We stay here.
Yes, Mr. Odesco.
Telephone Mr. Lassiter. Ask him if he would be kind enough to have lunch with me here on the deck of the Trade Winds.
Yes, sir.
And, Pierce, that tie you're wearing, it is new, isn't it?
Oh, yes, Mr. Odesco.
It offends me. Get rid of it.
Yes, sir.
Ah, good morning, my dear.
I think this is a good idea, isn't it? Just what the old place needed. Here, get away from the women folk. Here. Good man's talk. United Nations, Africa, all that sort. Hello. I say, that's a neat scarf. What a beauty. Oh, my goodness me. I've removed a few appendix myself, you know. Wouldn't mind having my signature on that one. Oh, marvelous. Yeah. Do you mind telling me who your Sawbones was?
Excuse me, but I think I'm done.
Oh, too bad. Well, tomorrow, perhaps. I'm booked for 2 o'clock.
Thanks for telling me.
Not at all. Looking forward to seeing you. Bye.
There's one we'll never see again.
Hello, Spot. How goes the battle?
I think I see the whites of his eyes.
Ah, took the bait, eh?
Your hair was hardly dry before he called up. An invitation to lunch.
Well, shouldn't you be hopping aboard? It's 1-ish.
I refused.
You what?
Timmy, Colin Lassiter doesn't come running just because somebody offers him a free meal.
Yes, I know. All the same, let's not overdo it. It's costing us a packet down here.
All in good time. He made it an open invitation. But before I accept, I think we'd better dangle another bit of bait in front of our greedy fish.
Uh-huh.
So when you finish here, telephone Aunt Meg and tell her to send the cable.
That should make Rodesco snap.
Meantime, we're on a holiday. Let's enjoy ourselves. Aha, Aphrodite risen from the sea.
Hello.
Well, this is more than I dared hope for. 2 warm summer nights in a row.
It's an unusual summer altogether.
My everlasting thanks to the weatherman. How do you get into this thing?
Oh, I'll show you.
Anything I can do to help?
Zip me up.
Zip it. Well, somebody ought to invent an electronic device instead of these. There you are, zipped.
You know, I didn't think last night was fair at all. You knew all about me, and I knew absolutely nothing about you.
You ran off without giving me a chance.
Well, you have your chance now.
All right. My name is Alec Fleming.
It's a very nice name.
I live in London.
Very nice city. May I have a cigarette?
Yes, of course. You may not like them very much.
Why, is it a Golden West?
How did you know?
You smoke 2 packs a day, you fly planes recklessly, you walk 6 miles every night of your life, and you sleep without pajama tops. Afraid your secret's out, Mr. Lassiter.
Where did all this come from?
An old magazine that Aram Radesco had.
Adam Radesco?
My father and I are guests of his on board the Tradewinds.
Oh, I see. You find it may take a little getting used to.
You know, I thought that magazine article left quite a bit unsaid.
Did you?
A tycoon who sleeps without pajama tops is one thing, but a man who could have half the women in the world at his feet and still prefers to walk the beach alone, well, that's something else again.
Well, my way of life doesn't really lend itself to marriage and romance and that sort of thing. I'm on the move quite a good bit, and usually at very short notice.
Speaking for half the women in the world, I'd say that's quite a waste of a man.
That's very sweet of you. Truth is, I've not really thought about it very much until recently. I see the Golden West didn't quite make the grade.
You're right, they are rather strange.
Well, tomorrow night I might bring along a more conventional brand. That is, if the weather holds good.
Well, not tomorrow night.
Something important?
A dinner party on the Tradewinds. I'm the guest of honor.
Maybe I'll see you there. Oh, I won't be gate crashing. I've been invited.
Aram said you turned his invitation down.
Well, that was before I found out who the guest of honor was going to be.
When I take him below, we are not to be disturbed. Your daughter is looking particularly lovely tonight.
Yes, she does seem to be enjoying herself.
Kendall, do you mind? I would like to borrow Mr. Lassiter for a few minutes.
No, of course not.
Now that I have you aboard, sir, I could not possibly let you escape without seeing my collection of ship models.
Oh, I'd enjoy that.
I am very proud of them. They come originally from the track of the ship north.
I'd like a dance with the guest of honor.
What is it, Kendall?
It's nothing, Father.
Here, grain, lumber, oil, steel. 200 ships flying the flag of Aram Radesco. Not bad for a poor fisher boy from a waterfront hovel, would you say?
Not bad at all.
Please sit down, Mr. Lassiter.
Thank you.
Here, let me get you a brandy.
No, thank you.
Oh, yes, I forget. You do not drink. A cigarette, then.
Oh, if you don't mind, I'll have one of my own.
Ah, but these are your own, Mr. Lassiter. They come in this morning from Australia on my aeroplane.
Oh, thank you.
Tell me, sir, Do you enjoy your stay here?
It's been a very pleasant vacation.
Vacation, my friend?
Yes, why?
Men like ourselves do not have vacations. We're not plumbers or carpenters. Our tools of trade are our brains, and we bring them wherever we go, even on what might appear to be simple vacation.
That's quite true, but the fact remains I did come here for a rest.
The rest? Are you so much in need of rest that you sleep on 2 beds?
I don't understand.
The next door suite, the vacant one, which you also reserve.
Mr. Odesco, we are both men of the world and bachelors. Is it that amusing?
Forgive me, Mr. Lassiter, but I find it very difficult to picture you looking over moonlit Mediterranean and holding hands with a rather grizzled American financier called Ryan Howard.
Ryan Howard?
A man richer than you and I together. In your briefcase, you have a letter agreeing to a meeting at a time and place to be decided by cable, and signed very familiarly, Ryan H.
That briefcase has not left my hotel room since I came here.
Mr. Lassiter, 100 francs is fortune to chambermaid.
What makes you think this is the time and the place?
This afternoon, you received a cable from London.
That cable was called into me over my private phone.
The clerk in the cable office has a family. He was content with 50 francs.
You must have quite a little army on your payroll.
A very loyal army. The cable indicated that your visitor would arrive on Tuesday. It was signed H. Ryan. H. Ryan, Ryan H., Ryan Howard. It required only a little deduction.
Well, I've enjoyed myself down here, and I was enjoying your party. Shall we go up?
Not for a moment, please. Tell me, Mr. Lassiter, when Mr. Ryan Howard arrives here, do you think I can sit on the deck of the Trade Winds and watch the lights in your suites burning far into the night, knowing a business arrangement is being made which does not include Aram Redesco?
I'm afraid there's no alternative.
I can think of one.
Such as?
You could make me your partner, your equal partner. I see it is your turn to be amused.
I always heard you were a man who was very careful with his money.
I am, most careful.
And yet you're prepared to put up $1 million for a deal you know nothing about?
What do I care? It is good enough for you and Mr. Ryan Howard. Oil, munitions, real estate, onions, I do not care. I have followed your career very closely, Mr. Lassiter. I know your reputation for making money grow. That is good enough for me.
That's very flattering. Perhaps some other time.
I had set my heart on this time.
I'm afraid it really is impossible.
Why?
Because Howard and I agreed that this deal would be secret between us, that no one else could be involved.
Then it is possible that deal might fall through if it turns out to be not secret?
Meaning?
For example, if Mr. Ryan Howard should hear that you had discussed this deal with Aram Redesco, who was standing by, ready to take his place if anything went wrong.
You would go that far?
Mr. Lassiter, a poor fisher boy does not acquire 200 ships by being 100% gentleman.
You don't see how it could be worked out. Because there'd be papers to be signed?
Not between us, my friend. I understand your usual signature is a handshake.
That's true, but that still leaves the question of the money.
Perhaps I can answer that question.
Howard has his own army of informers. If I deposit a check for $1 million from Aram Redesco, he'd know within the hour.
Could he trace $1 million in bills of small denomination? Say hundreds?
You seem to have thought of everything.
I will send my secretary to Switzerland. He will have the cash here by Monday morning.
I don't know. Howard's a friend of mine. I'd be breaking my word.
No, not breaking. Let us say bending a little. After all, I will be only a silent partner.
Well, it does seem to be the only way to keep everybody happy.
And we have a deal?
A deal.
Good. Now, my friend, I will let you in on a little secret. Tonight, you seem to be enjoying the company of Miss Fraser.
Oh, she's very attractive.
Yes. Now that you and I are partners, you will see a great deal of her. We are going to be married.
Excuse me, Father.
Kendall, Mr. Lassiter and I have had a most enjoyable conversation. I told him about us, my dear. I knew you would not mind.
No, of course not.
May I wish you every happiness?
If you will excuse me, I have to send my secretary on an errand. Good night, my friend.
Good night. Good night.
Please, meet me tomorrow night. Please?
Not going through with it. That's not an awfully funny joke, you know. In fact, it's positively rank.
I'm sorry, Timmy. I've been thinking about it all night, and that's the way it's going to be.
But it's unthinkable. The man's panting to line our pockets with a fortune, and you're prepared to throw it away just because a girl bats her eyes at you in the moonlight.
There's far more to it than that. I know this sounds peculiar to you, but I think I'm in love with her. In fact, I have a horrible suspicion I've been in love with her for 5 years.
What in heaven's name are you going to tell her?
I don't know. The truth, I suppose.
Oh, great, marvelous. That's a proposal I'd really like to hear. Now listen, old girl, I have a confession to make. I am not Colin Lassiter, fabled mystery man from down under, but plain Alec Fleming, a rather charming swindler. Are you still with me, old girl? Good. Well, I am so deeply in love with you that I am prepared to throw away $1 million. Not $1 million of my own, you understand, but $1 million I was going to steal from your fiancée. Now, really.
You don't think much of my chances, huh?
If you must know, Alec, I think you're completely round the bend.
Oh, thank you for those encouraging words.
No, hold on. Don't lose your sense of humor.
Look, I'm sorry. I know I'm going to let the family down.
Well, that's all right, old boy. But I hate to see you throw away a career. I mean, it's such a waste of talent. But if that's the way you want it, well, jolly good luck to you.
Thank you.
You know, I was just thinking, if there's anyone in this world who can pull off the impossible, you're the chap to do it.
I'll see you around, huh?
See you. Whatever will I say to Mum?
I hope you haven't been waiting long.
No, not too long.
I couldn't get here any sooner.
Oh, that's perfectly all right. Besides, I needed the time to think.
Could I have a cigarette?
Yes, of course. I brought your brand this time. I'm thinking of giving up those other things for good. Kendall.
Before you say anything, did you make a business deal with Aram last night?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I did.
Well, this may seem a very strange thing to say, but please don't go through with it.
Do you mind my asking why?
Because everything that Aram touches turns to dirt. Everything and everyone.
Isn't that a very odd thing to say about the man you're going to marry?
No, I'm not going to marry him.
What?
Father and I have moved to a hotel. We're flying back to New York tomorrow.
There must have been quite a commotion.
No, as a matter of fact, it was all very calm and considered. It should never have happened in the first place.
He would never have made you happy, Kendall. You're miles above him.
I never feel miles above anyone right now. I feel low and cheap.
Why should you?
Do you know why I came back here that second night? I was on an errand for Aram. One of his grubby, dirty errands, just like Pierce or any of the others. He wanted you on the boat, and I was told to get you there, didn't matter how.
I can understand the others grubbing around for his pennies, but why you?
There was more than pennies in it for me. My wedding present was to have been $1 million.
Well, but why does any amount of money matter to you? You're Ashton Frazier's daughter.
I'm the daughter of a man who might go to prison.
Prison?
Even Father didn't know how it happened. He controls companies all over the world, and suddenly, one by one, they began to go wrong. He poured money into them. Everything he had, every penny he could borrow. If he couldn't raise $1 million in cash, it'd be all gone. I thought it would kill him.
So you decided to marry Rodesco to save your father?
Well, I didn't decide. You see, what was happening to Father wasn't entirely accidental. It was Aram who'd been pulling the strings. He told me so himself the night he proposed. It was his charming way of making sure of my answer.
That sounds like his style.
Of course, Father didn't know. He thought I was in love with him. I thought I could go through with it. But I couldn't. Not after. Anyway, I told Father the truth tonight. He couldn't wait to get us off that boat.
Kendall.
Now, look, I didn't come here to ask for help or for sympathy. I just couldn't go away knowing I'd gotten you involved with a man like Aaron Rodesco. Oh, please call that deal off.
I'm sorry, I had misgivings myself about it this morning. I thought of chucking the whole thing. I have to go through with it now. You see, we, shook hands on it.
There you are, my friend. $1 million as agreed upon. For 1/2 your interest.
You drive a hard bargain.
I hope you will not hold it against me.
I give you my word. From the moment I leave this cabin, I won't give it another thought.
Oh, Mr. Lassiter.
Yes?
You are a clever man. Probably a genius in your field. But you have not fooled me for 1 second.
No?
Aram Rodesco is never fooled. Admit it, Mr. Lassiter. You do not like me, do you? You do not trust me. It was very unpleasant for you to have to take me for a partner.
You do have a way of getting to the nub of things.
It is unimportant. Trust is nothing. Friendship is nothing. There's only one thing in life that counts, money.
That's right. You might say that everything depends on this.
Delightful fellow.
You look terrible. I should think so, indeed. I didn't lose an ounce in that blasted steam room. I've dropped half a stone since you decided to play Santa Claus.
Drink up. We haven't got long.
Have you told them yet?
Not much point, really. The bank will be open in 2 minutes. Remember, go to the manager, tell him to cable the money direct to Frazier's account in New York.
Frazier's going to get a surprise when he asks for his balance. You're absolutely certain this will make finer men of us?
Absolutely.
Sorry, old boy, but I've got an extraordinary feeling I'd be a better man rich.
Me?
Sorry, just dreaming.
Now, I'm going to see them off at the airport, and I'll come and pick you up, and we'll be on our way.
What about the hotel?
What about it?
We owe them a packet.
This will make finer men of them, too.
Funny. Thought it would have been heavier. Oh, I'm awfully sorry.
Hello.
What? Oh, hello there.
Dr. Sinclair, isn't it?
Yeah, how nice of you to remember. Thank you very much. Anything wrong?
No, I was just looking at your attaché case. Mr. Odesco has one just like it.
Has he? Yes, yes, they're very, very popular, you know. Yes. The company's doing awfully well, you know. They're the ideal thing for a picnic lunch, you know. Hard-boiled eggs, pickles, all that sort of stuff.
Well, if you'll excuse me, Mr. Odesco likes his papers on time.
Yes, of course. Well, cheerio!
Yeah, make sure Odesco's papers are ready. Well, merci.
Idiot! Imbecile!
But, Mr. Odesco, how was I to know?
You are paid to know. Call the police.
Mr. Odesco, the publicity.
There will be no publicity. I will get the man and my money, and no one will ever know that Aram Rodesco was made to look a fool. Call the police.
Attention, attention, s'il vous plaît. Les passagers du vol numéro 6 de la ligne Romanais en route pour Rome sont priés de monter à bord.
Kendall, I'll see you on the plane.
I won't be a minute, Father.
Goodbye, Mr. Lassiter.
Goodbye, son. Kendall, I know you're not too sure just what you're flying home to, but I have an odd feeling it's going to be a good homecoming.
I don't know why, but when you say it, I think so too.
Hold the good thought.
I want you to know something.
What's that?
I'll never forget these last few days.
Nor will I.
I wonder if we'll ever see each other again.
Perhaps sometime. On a warm summer night on some lonely beach somewhere.
Perhaps.
A word with you, please, monsieur?
Oh, of course, officer. What appears to be the problem?
The problem, my friend, is the speed of your recovery. You look exceedingly well for a man with 2 broken legs, a concussion of the brain, and internal injuries. Where is the money?
I'm terribly sorry I spent it.
You spend $1 million in 1 hour.
That's my highest standard of living.
He will tell us where the money is hidden, monsieur. We have our method.
Good. But remember, discretion.
Yeah, we will be most discreet. Come with me, please.
Alec Fleming, we meet at last. Colonel Kessel, Interpol, Special Branch.
Ah, yes, Colonel. I had just apprehended this man.
Good work, officer. He's wandered all over the continent. I've been chasing him for 2 years.
It seems I underestimated you, Colonel.
No reason to detain you, Mr. Rodesco, but I must ask you to say nothing until tomorrow. Then you may make a full statement to the press.
Is this necessary?
Oh, yes, of course it's necessary. When the world hears that Aram Rodesco was hoodwinked by a common swindler, it will put every man of wealth on his guard. It will make our job much easier, too, I assure you.
I understand, Colonel. But perhaps before you make this public, you and I can discuss the matter on my ship.
With pleasure. But first, we must put this rogue behind bars.
I shall be waiting.
Now, you're alone, officer, eh?
Ah, oui.
Now, that's too bad. Phone headquarters and send on another car.
But, Colonel, there are 2 of us.
This man is known to have an accomplice.
Yes, as soon as I saw the headlines, I thought it was time to drag the old colonel out of the trunk.
Dear old Colonel Kessler. We haven't needed him since Rome. I must say, Timmy, you really play him to the hilt.
Thanks awfully, boy. Well, now what?
Now, we just start on our 2nd million. Keeping money would be desirable, I suppose.
I think Mum would like it. Where do we get our working capital?
That's simple. Back where we came from.
Oh?
America. Land of opportunity.